Look around you, everyone is addicted to their phones. And I live in Shanghai where this addiction is basically on steroids. Now, I struggled with it myself, particularly during COVID when TikTok and short vids became a huge thing. And it really affected both my productivity and my mental health. But it took me understanding why I was addicted that helped me deal with it. And it's not the reason you might think. Hey, welcome to Productivity with Lucien, where I share my 7-year experience building an agency in Shanghai, the world's most competitive city. Now, when everyone is addicted, it's not just a you or me problem, it's a structural problem. Once I realized that, I stopped blaming myself, and it made it much easier to develop an architecture to deal with this addiction. So let's look at the psychology behind the addiction. And I'll share with you the solutions that really work for me. So why are we addicted? Well, tech companies spend billions to employ the world's smartest people to keep us addicted. We as humans are simply not evolutionarily equipped to deal with all of this stimulation that insidiously combines social pressure, dopamine hits, and engagement loops to keep us addicted. Essentially, social media and phones have been engineered to give us exactly what we as humans crave, that is dopamine, at the lowest cost possible, making it unbelievably addictive. That's why I stopped looking for solutions in and of myself to fight social media addiction, because I realized you can't rely on willpower alone. Instead, you need to create structure-based solutions. So then, what's the cost? Now, if you're making important decisions every day, then social media addiction is a real problem. Now, here's why. First, reduced decision quality. Research shows that just 30 seconds of phone use can cost you up to 10 minutes of focused thinking. And that quiet thinking time is exactly when your brain does the heavy lifting, synthesizing data and making smart, high-leverage decisions. Next is decision fatigue. Now, every scroll, every ping, and every message you respond to is making a tiny decision. These micro choices drain your mental battery. It's like trying to write a novel with someone tapping on your shoulder every 2 minutes. Next is diminished strategic thinking. Now, big ideas need depth. They need the time to process trade-offs and see long-term consequences. But when your brain is constantly spiked with these short-term rewards from social media, that deep thought just gets crowded out. Now let me share my solutions and, of course, the science behind them. As much as I'd love to throw my phone in the bin, my work and my life are bonded to it. So here's the structure that I built, backed by real science sources, which as usual, I'll list in the description box below. So I work in 50 and 10-minute splits. That means 50 minutes of deep work and 10-minute breaks where I allow myself to check my phone. Then I use an app and website blocker. It sounds really simple, but the friction of having to unlock a site or an app really works. And seeing this app is blocked on your screen interrupts your autopilot mode and reminds you to get back to work. Research shows that this small interruption is enough to reduce compulsive behavior. I delete social media apps right after I post something, whether it's on LinkedIn, Instagram, or YouTube, because honestly, I found myself checking every couple of minutes to see the amount of engagements that post has received. It's super lame, I know, but this is the power of social media. Plus, it's much more satisfying seeing 100 engagements at the end of the day rather than the drip of 1 or 2 likes every couple of minutes. Then I log out of messaging apps on my computer at work. I leave notifications on my phone only. That way I don't keep clicking the taskbar looking for more dopamine hits. Then I physically remove my phone when I'm working. So it goes in my bag or across the room, out of sight, out of mind. Now, this sounds really weird, but I also had to retrain my brain. So during COVID, especially with the short videos, my attention span was completely wrecked. And I'm sure a lot of you know exactly what I'm talking about. So I started forcing myself to finish a long YouTube video or a film without picking up my phone. It felt really counterintuitive watching stuff to train my brain, but in reality, it really worked pretty well for me. And finally, I do periodic digital detoxes. So have you ever been in the mountains and lost signal for an afternoon, or traveled abroad but not been able to access roaming data? That panic of disconnection that you initially have quickly subsides, and you're followed by a real sense of freedom. Now, studies show that even just 72 hours of reduced phone use can lead to measurable changes in brain function, especially around impulse control and reward processing. That means you're not grabbing your phone every couple of minutes looking for a dopamine hit. So in the end, digital boundaries aren't about becoming a monk. They're about creating a space for your mind to breathe, to think clearly, act intentionally, and create better work with less stress. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please don't forget to subscribe, send it to a friend, and subscribe to the accompanying newsletter in the description box below. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching Productivity with Lucien. See you later. Bye-bye.